Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're watching PNT. I'm your host, or am I? Up front this week, according to a recent article by UPI, animal rescue agencies in Britain are contending with an outbreak of apparent avian alcoholism. RSCPA officers have answered more than a dozen calls from concerned citizens reporting an influx of seagulls that appear to be drunk. The birds, collected from the Dorset and Devon regions, appear to be disoriented and stagger as they walk. Noticing a strong odor of alcohol from their fine feathered foundlings, the RSCPA officers investigated and discovered that the guzzling gulls had ingested waste from a local brewery. Getting more than they bargained for, the birds remained intoxicated for some time, even after having regurgitated their fermented food, leading to the behavior seen here and at college frat houses across the country. For PNT's part, the sloshed seagulls have our sympathies, but we can't help but ponder the possibilities presented by pre-marinated poultry. From bombed birds to red rains, our next story takes us to Russia, where residents recently captured what appears to be a rain of blood. Residents of the Siberian town of Norilsk were startled when a sudden shower covered the streets and cars with a crimson coating. With the town beginning to resemble the set of a horror film, residents snapped photos and videos of the phenomenon, with explanations for the rain of blood ranging from a foretelling of the apocalypse to divine support for England's soccer team. The real explanation is far more regrettable than it is remarkable. Officials from Russian mining company Nornickel stepped forward and accepted responsibility for the sanguine shower, stating that huge amounts of iron oxide, also known as rust, had mistakenly been carried aloft by the encroaching storm winds. Officials explained that the pile of iron oxide had been part of a removal and renovation operation at the factory, but a careless employee had failed to secure a lid over the rusty remnants before the wind took hold. Mixing with the downfall of rain, the reddish powder then produced the startling shower of blood. While the Siberian blood rain was attributed to human cause, blood rains themselves have actually been observed throughout history, with the earliest account being of a crimson deluge in 191 BC that prompted the Roman Senate to human sacrifice in order to placate the angry gods. While PNT cannot help but understand the anger of some Norilsk residents at the deluge of industrial waste on their town, we feel that we should caution against the practice of ritual sacrifice for environmental purposes. Although that seemed to have worked pretty well for the ancient Druids. For our final part of our weekly roundup of the weird, PNT is pleased to bring you another fascinating report taken from the MUFON database. The video, taken in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, appears to show a triangular-shaped series of lights hovering over the city. Let's have a look at the footage.
another one. This is not a plane. This is not a plane right here. It's literally hovering over the city. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this. It's not moving. It just has lights on. Oh my God. Dude, this is fucking wild, bro. This thing is not, this is not a plane. It's literally floating here. I'm amazed. Sorry guys, this is weird. I know this is weird, but this is a triangle of lights in the fucking sky right here. Holy shit, dude. If that ain't a UFO, I don't know what is, man.
So what was the object captured on tape last May over Oklahoma City? Confident that we can rule out the usual birds, balloons, flares, and drones, PNT turned its attention to pinpointing the location of the sighting. With little detail given in the witness statement, PNT examined the footage frame by frame, and we were able to clearly see the highway exit number of the freeway the car was driving on at the time. After a quick online search of the Oklahoma Department of Transportation database, we were able to pinpoint the location of the witness as being the intersection of Interstates 40 and 44. With this information, we were then able to extrapolate a line of sight of the camera, enabling us to finally place the rough location of the object as being somewhere to the south and east of Oklahoma State University. With the general area of the lights being determined, we could then look for the next likeliest cause: civilian or military aircraft. With a quick Google search revealing the locations of both civilian airfields and military bases surrounding the sighting area, and aircraft now being the likeliest cause of the sighting, PNT was free to look for similarities in the pattern and number of lights seen in the footage and match them against those of civilian and military aircraft. PNT was ultimately able to determine an almost exact match between the lights in the video and those of a multi-purpose military cargo plane known as the C-130. First built in 1954, the powerful planes can hold both vehicles and troops. Well, alright PNT, that's well and good, but how does that explain for the lights hovering? Well, we knew that you would ask this question, and we have an answer for you. Angles. When a plane is on approach or departure from an airport, a startling visual effect can occur if the observer is at an oblique angle to the flight path. In other words, looking straight at the plane, which is moving towards or away from the viewer. As the witness is looking dead on at the plane, the aircraft does not seem to be moving, appearing instead to hang or hover in place for some minutes before finally turning at an arc. Only then can the observer see the movements of the plane and distinguish the landing and running lights as usual. While this is startling, the optical phenomenon is quite common and easily observed, and accounts for a great number of UFO sightings reported to MUFON and often found here on YouTube. But whether the lights caught on tape over Oklahoma City last May were the result of an optical illusion caused by the maneuvers of a common military cargo plane, or something else entirely, we'll leave up to you to decide. Sound off in the comment section below with your thoughts. That's it for this time, faithful viewers. Be sure to click like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified when we upload your next portion of the paranormal. I'm your host, reminding you to keep an open mind, because a closed one shuts out the truth.